Hello and welcome to episode 64 of Comics with Stevey D. Dollar bins, wins, and grins. But before I get into what I got out of the dollar bin, I'm happy to say, in a previous episode I was talking about wanting to find Iron Man Nor #1. Well, when I was getting ready for another show, or sorting, I've been trying to organize my comics better. He was out of place. So I got 4 of the Iron Man Nor story, so I can read that and do a little review comparing it to Gotham City Nor Year 1. All right. Okay. This was my first hunt in 2024 of the new year. I have been watching lots of comic book content, and I got the bug to go out and do a little hunting myself. So I got my car in between winter storms, mind you. We had one and then it warmed up, and I went out on that one nice day. I went there in the grocery store on the same day. And now it's snowing again and going to get real cold down into the teens. So I'm glad I got out and got that out of my system so I won't get cabin fever so bad. But let's get right into it. I paid $18 for all of these books that I got. And you leave a comment telling me if I did good or not. Our first book, Strike Force Moritori, #1 from 1986, cover art by Brent Anderson. So, it's always nice to find a first issue. This one's in pretty good shape. Next book, this caught my eye right away. Another first issue, but it's 1 of 3. Invasion, the Alien Alliance. So when I read this one, I'm going to decide whether if I want to hunt down the other 2 or not. But it's a cool cover. Really good alien monster wrapping his clawed hand around the earth. These next 2 books go together. Green Lantern 111 and 112. A really pretty cover caught my eye on the first one. And I ran across the second one in the same bin. And so I was so happy because it was a 2-story event. So I don't have to buy a whole bunch of books to get a conclusion and feel like I've got the complete story and everything. And so it's 111 and 112. Green Lantern from 1999, cover art by Daryl Banks. Jade battles fatality. Somehow the Green Lantern Corps destroyed her world, and she's hunting down members of the Corps out of vengeance. It's a vengeance story, kind of. Now here's one. The cover caught my eye. Ultimate #7 from 2002. Cover art by Brian Hitch and Mark Miller. Now, I did a little research. Maybe there's a dozen or 15 comics in this series. And I got about 3 or 4 of them already, so I'm going to put that on my hunt down list. It's always good to have a list of stuff when you go out. That way, you're looking for something and you're goal orientated. Alright, the next book I bought, because every Punisher book I have has him on the cover shooting everything up. This is the first one I ever saw the Punisher where he's not shooting it up. He's aiming, but he hasn't shot anything up yet. This is the Punisher #29, first series from 1990. Cover art by Bill Reinhold. And it's got all the superheroes in the background. Thor, Captain America, a couple I don't know. Looks like the Great Lakes Avengers. I'm not sure until I read it. And it's a 2-issue book series, so I might get the one before. It has a Doctor Doom cover. So I'm kind of looking for that too. Here's a beautiful cover for the X-Men fans out there. New X-Men number 147 from 2003. Cover art by Phil Jimenez. And I'm going to open this up and show you a couple of panels. Such a pretty cover. I'll put that back up at the end. I wasn't looking for X-Men comic books, but I ran into several good ones. The first panel I want to show you, like I said, I like spacescapes and cityscapes. Here's a really cool cityscape. Right there. I'll get in close. I like the cityscapes that has a sunrise or a sunset in them. It's real cool. Magneto's not being very good in this. Sometimes hero, sometimes villain. And here's your typical Magneto floating. There he is. In the midst of his destruction of metal, bending and twisting. But I have one. So, I'm paraphrasing Magneto right down in here. He's saying, Dr. Xavier wants to build bridges between mankind and mutant kind. And he says, well, we can fly, hop, skip, and jump. And he got mad. And he destroyed I think it was the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't know about New York, but that's what I think it is. So, that was cool. I'll show the cover one more time for people that like X-Men books. There's one to collect. And here's another one, X-Men 96, number 17. Cover art by Steve Scroce, or Scroach, one of the two. It's a cool cover, and it says the birth of a new hero, warrior, or something. So I got to read it to find out this might be a first appearance of somebody in here. That's why I bought this book. Here's a Cable. I spent $2 on this. It's a first issue, and number 1 from 1992, John Romita Jr. cover. And it seems to me that the Cable covers kind of look all the same to me. I don't read the character. I just collect it for the cover. But I think unless I find a real cool Cable cover, I got half a dozen or so, and they all seem the same to me. So I'm not going to collect those too much anymore. Now here's one. X-Force, even though I said I'm not going to collect Cable, he's on this cover. Okay, X-Force 25 from 1993. I was big into 90 books this time around. It's a card stock wraparound cover, which I got to show you carefully. It's in real good shape. These cardstock books really hold their shape over the years. And if you can look in close, if I articulate it, you can see Cable shooting it up in there. And 1993 by Greg Capullo. Alright, and my last book, people who have been on the content I've been watching, they've been going crazy over 70s horror books and earlier. So I found one. It's not in great condition, but I love the cover. It's a Neil Adams cover, and it has the kids behind the tombstones looking at the House of Mystery. And there's a witch flying across. And while they're all scouting that out, there's another one sneaking up behind them. So the cover is telling a whole story right there. And if you get in close, I've heard comic collectors say, books with mouse chews. That's the first mouse chew I ever found. So I found something new. And it's chipped up pretty good and a lot of spine ticks. And it's an old book. But it was real cool. So that's my comic book hunt. First one of 2024. Let me know if you think I got my $18 worth in the comments. Please like and subscribe. I'm happy making these videos, and it's a hobby making the videos about comic books. So I got a new hobby out of an old hobby. With that, take care and good luck in your comic endeavors.